Somebody asked about the Custom S, so I'll make a quick video. This is a 69. This was a 1 year only model. I don't know why they sold it as its own model. It's a Tempest body. Tempest was the base. Le Mans was an option package. GTO used to be an options package, but it was later sold as its own model. So a Custom S kind of falls between a base Tempest and a Le Mans, so I don't know why they even bothered to make another model. But I always wanted a 69 GTO clone. I don't want to spend GTO money on a car I'm going to modify. I bought this in 2009 for $2,000 from a lady who had it sitting in her backyard and not running forever. And I work overseas, so sometimes I've got a lot of money, and then sometimes I'm home and I'm broke. So I bought this while I was overseas. Then I was home for a couple years later. I think I had 8 or 9 cars, didn't have a lot of money, wasn't planning on going back overseas. Sold this and a Firebird. And then I went back overseas. So a few years later, I was looking to replace this. I sold it for $1,500 in 2011. So it was like 2016. This popped up on Marketplace. The guy hadn't touched it. He took it home, parked it, didn't even move it until he listed it. Hadn't even titled it. So I bought it back with my title still in my name. Had to pay him more money to get it back though. So at that point it was still stock. The Pontiac 350 had a flat cam. I had some spare engines in my shop, so I put just a stock cam in it and drove it around for a little while. But then I started parting out stuff like that Yukon, and I have a lot of 6 liters LQ4s and keep all those free from the part out, so I put a 6 liter and a 4L80 in this. This is one of the cheaper swaps I've done. It's just a stock iron head LQ4. It was free from the part out. The 2-wheel drive 4L80 came from a pick and pull for $200. I've got an EFI tank, and I originally had Speed Engineering headers, which are good headers. They're like $300 a pair. I've got them on a few cars, but they hung too low on this car because I later lowered it. I didn't have any ground clearance, so I bought Hooker Blackheart headers, which are spendy, but they fit nice. Then I use CPP drop spindles that take Corvette hubs and 13-inch Corvette rotors and wheelwood calipers. And in the rear, those are just later 4th gen, what people call LS1 disc brakes. They're like 12-inch. I had to modify the backing plates because these are not C-clip axles. And then the wheels are just a cheap set off of eBay that fit BMWs, so I had to use spacers for those. And when I lived at my old house, I really didn't have room to do a lot of body and paint, so I just got this drivable, and it's reliable, so I drive it around sometimes, but it doesn't have air conditioning, so I don't want to drive it when it's hot. But now I've got more space. I would like to paint it sometime in the near future. I'm just working on the 2 that are in the shop right now. I do want to do some upgrades. I don't want to go as far as an aftermarket chassis, but I would like to pull the body, brace, and paint this frame and put UMI suspension on it. Probably get a different set of wheels. I've got some 6.2s now. I've been parting out newer Yukon Denali's to get 6.2s, and I'm going to start replacing the LQ4s in a lot of my vehicles with 6.2s. So I want to put a 6.2 in this. I would like a manual trans. I don't know if I want to spend the money to put one in here. Plus I like having a bench seat, which this originally had. So where it's a column shifted auto, I'll probably put a bench seat back in it. I started putting new interior in it just because the old interior was so trash. I didn't like driving it, and decided to give these seats a try, which I'm not really in love with. But I cannot find a seat cover that fits the original bench that was in this. But then I bought this 66, which has this split bench that I think is the same seat as a 69 GTO split bench. I don't know what it came out of. So I think I'll put a GTO cover on that and put it in this car. It doesn't need a lot of metal work to be able to paint it. Everything underneath is solid. There's a little rust in the wheel wells as always, and that door is creased. A couple little dents on this side and a little rust back there. But that's all going to take time and money, and I don't have much of either right now, and it's going to need some air conditioning too. But I'll probably paint it black. I haven't decided what to do for a bumper. I don't know if I want to just paint the Custom S bumper black or get a GTO bumper, because the options I've looked at, I don't really like any of them. Maybe a fiberglass one, I don't know yet. I also thought I would have a building to park everything in years ago, which is one reason I haven't painted stuff yet, because they all sit outside. Plus I'm not going to pay anybody for paint. They charge you too much and they do a terrible job and they take forever. But things keep getting in the way of building the building I want. First it was a divorce, then it was a worldwide pandemic that put me out of work for a while. Now the housing market's ridiculous. I don't want to live here anyway. I'm trying to move to another city, but it's more expensive than this one. So if I can ever build the building I want, I'll have a nice place to park all my cars, and I can clean them up and start painting them, and they can stay indoors. But for the time being, I did buy some car covers for these. But they were covered in snow when I got home. So now that they're dry, I'll put the covers on before I go back to work.